Our mission, we are dedicated to providing single gender classes, quality instruction, individualization, and family community involvement in order to ensure students' proficiency. Welcome, everybody. Very good with this. Yes, I know. Okay. It's an alphabet. This is not here. We have Mary Merchant, Sue Steckity, Tim Tokarski, Melinda Thompson, Corinne Trejo, and Allison is coming late, right? Yep, okay. So Allison Henrik Smith will be here late. Those are the GC members. And guests, we have, is Dan here?
Sam, can you introduce yourself? She's representing.
Sure, I'm here.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Gonzalez. I'm a consultant, and I also work for Dan Hill as his Director of Compliance and Training, and I'm here on his behalf today. So, hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Sam?
Sam, can you give us your whole name?
Oh, sure. Sam Gonzalez with an
Thank
S at the end.
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Okay.
And then we have Ms. Bachman, Ms. Weeks, Ms. Sickinger as staff. Is that correct? Is that all?
Yes, Sandra.
And then, oh,
Katie.
Katie.
And Julia.
I said Julia.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, is that everybody? There's so many places to look. So we have a roll call. May I have a motion to approve the agenda as it was submitted to us in the folder? So,
Second.
all in favor?
Hi.
And the minutes. Does anybody have anything to add to the minutes from last meeting?
Unless I missed something, I think that it said in there the next meeting is April 22nd.
Oops.
If that's the case, that
Wait a second.
No, actually, it's here.
because it's
Somebody must have caught
okay.
it. Somebody must have already reported it, if it was
The
there.
April 8th.
No, it says March 11th.
No, next meeting. At the very end.
March 11th, that's this week.
Oh, where did I see?
There is an April 22nd.
Okay,
It's the next meeting.
okay.
April 22nd? Yes. That's not the second, because of the budget.
Oh, that was on the agenda.
Yeah.
It's at the bottom of the agenda.
Okay, but.
So that was okay.
But any other, changes or any corrections in the minutes? May I have a motion, please, to approve the minutes? I so move. Second,
I can second it, but I need that secretary.
Okay.
Second.
okay, and all in favor? I'm
Aye.
aye. Thank you. Tim, do you want to present the financial guidelines for us, and then we can vote on them?
They were pretty straightforward this month. Not much has changed since last month. We're still in a really good financial position. And
The bonds? We don't get real bars yet.
and I think that's it.
Anybody else say anything?
Unless Katie wants to, provide. information.
There was just two large POs that we just have to note on there for Mike's Painting and Stove and Construction, but other than that, Nothing big.
And we did discuss the POs at the finance meeting and everything seemed to be in order. And Julia, do you have some numbers? for
I
us?
do.
So you don't have to approve the financial? I'll do that. It's still in the same.
I see.
Currently we have 202 K through fifth graders enrolled and 35 pre-K students. Remaining on the lottery list for this current school year are 39 students. And then our lottery draw for next school year was yesterday. And after calling and offering spots to everyone, we only have 11 students left on our lottery list for next year.
Wait, so, you had 39 and now you're down to 11?
39 is this current school year, so 24-25.
Oh, 24.
And then 11 are on our 25-26 lottery list.
How many spaces?
We still have several spaces, so we definitely need to keep recruiting.
So the boys and girls, kind of everything's open. Is,
Allison's in the exact same, she's in the waiting room.
Thank you.
Come in, but
What's waiting?
I see right here. Thank you for telling me.
Oh, she's electronic.
I have a question about that. So how many? I don't understand the pre-enrollment for next year. Do you have the numbers for that or how many spaces are left?
I do not have a good number right now. We just offered a bunch of spots to students because our lottery draw was yesterday.
Okay.
So we're still waiting to hear back. They have 48 hours to respond. So we're
Okay.
still waiting for responses for some of them. So at the next meeting, I can certainly have a better number for you.
Do you think that it's going to be as high numbers as we have right now? Just judging your feelings.
Yes, I think we'll have about the same as we do currently.
And is that okay going into it or do we need more?
We can always use more, but we'll be in a good spot.
Okay.
Julia, is having that 11 at this point in the, for the lottery number, is that normal? I mean, is that what happens when after you've offered everything that we have, is that kind of?
Every year is a little bit different. I will say this pool having this low number at this current time is not usually common. Usually we have more.
how did the pre-K stuff go?
Pre-K, we had quite a few on the list and quite a few accepted, but we certainly can use more. So I'm hopeful.
When you say you have 37 more for this year, do those 37 translate to any for next year?
No, because the parents didn't put them necessarily on our list for this next year.
Okay.
Because they didn't get in this year, so. Maybe they.
Yeah, and a lot of them were put on in like January of 2024. So it just.
Julie, I'm sorry for being a little late. I had a work conflict. So of those 37, are the majority of them still pre-K and then girls academy?
The 39 number was for this current lottery list, the current school year's lottery list. 24, 25. And it's
Got
a
it.
mixed bag. It's not necessarily one grade level.
Are we still doing that kind of community outreach stuff that we have done in the past?
Mm-hmm.
Give me that pictures of that.
I guess my question would be, what do you need from us to help?
Keep spreading the word.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, could we have a motion, please, to approve financial documents as presented and discussed?
So moved.
I second.
All in favor?
I,
Um. How about the Budget and Finance Committee? We have a few things we have to approve there. Tim, do you wanna? Give me a picture of the list?
No, the first part is pretty easy. I think we have no bars.
Okay, that's good. That's
Wow.
I could.
Yeah.
I can knock that one off. Should we vote on that? No, I don't need to, do it. And then Julia, if you pull up the school calendar.
School calendar. What fun is
What's
that?
it mean for? Days off?
Green indicates that it's a staff training day or
Teacher
parent teacher conference day.
So not vacations, but
No,
other days.
And then when it says November instructional days, I mean 16 hours, right?
no, that's 16 days.
All right, that's total?
Correct.
Wow, September the fun.
And how does the not having to do the 180-day school days this next year, how does that translate into this?
It doesn't yet because just because we don't have to do it doesn't mean that we'll get funded for the day. Do you know what I'm saying? There are funding points that are worked into the templates. We don't have the templates for next year. So right now, it doesn't really make a difference. So we're going with that, thinking that the funding points in the year and the instructional hours and days will be the same, but we don't know yet. And again, I was telling the finance committee, we don't have any foreseeable legislation on it. And we have zero guidance from PED. And we are diligently asking for it from different groups and individuals. But the spring budget workshop is April 9th, 10th, and 11th. So hopefully by then there'll be something. So we don't know what the funding impact will be. So it's almost like we can't even really have a conversation about how it impacts us. We have absolutely no idea right now. So
Does that mean we need to table this discussion till we have that, or?
So these are kind of like procedural things we have to do because we are in a data system. So we need
Okay.
this. So, and we've talked to staff about it and we tell the community, we're very transparent with the community about, I don't know if, you know, if this is really gonna be the day, but if for your summer plans, plan on August 4th being the first day. So this is why we need this now, and then the operating budget piece is a new piece that APS is asking from us. So again, it's just a procedural thing. We probably have to come back on April 22nd, and really take a look at these things in greater detail. Hopefully we'll be, have a lot more information after that workshop takes place.
And who
So
goes-
this is just tentative, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
who's going to the workshop? I do, and Katie does. You and Katie, okay.
Do we have to approve it? Yeah, we have a motion, please, to approve the school calendar as presented by Ms. Blackman.
So moved.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
They are.
And then the next and last item in there is the 2025-26 operating budget template. It's sort of a new document that we have to put in this year. You wanna pull it up?
Yeah.
Let's see that.
And Katie can walk us through it.
It's not.
And while you're pulling it up, real quick question, what was our 120 census number? And was it good? I mean, it looked like our number dropped a little bit.
209.
Yeah.
So same as 80.
And did I see that we're right now at
We're lower now.
203, 202?
202.
Yeah, 202.
Is this what you wanted next? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Maybe I didn't open it.
It's on there. Katie, can you see? You can't see the screen, can you?
Katie, do you want to share the screen?
Yeah, I can share my screen. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You've been transferred to the bed.
All right. Let me zoom in. Can you guys see that okay? Yes. Okay. Yeah, so it's a survey. So I filled in the information of what we'll be submitting to APS, and they're going to be taking this to their board for the operating budget. So I asked some questions, but the big thing that they're asking for is our student enrollment. This is an average of our 80 and 120 day from this year. The average of that is 209.25. And then that is what's calculated to what our projected operational budget or SEG will be for next year, the 2.9 million. And that's factored based on the unit value that we currently have. They didn't do an increase to that this spring like they normally do, and they haven't released what it will be for next year. So these are projections just based on what our student membership is and then currently what that unit value is. APS will be taking this SEG number for all the schools and putting it together to present to their board to get approved. And then I just have to note how we got to that number. This is the unit value that's used. And so you use that to work with the units, and that's how you get the 2.9. And then they just asked a few other questions about when we've given the opportunity for input on the budget, which will happen on the 14th. We're having a Zoom. And then also we've put out a survey for people to give input about the budget for next year too. And then there's just a link for the notice for where we posted that in Blooms. And then they also want to make sure that our operational fund expenditure is less than 5% of our cash balance, pretty much to show like, well, can we live within our SEG that's, being projected for next year, which we can at this point because nothing's really been released from legislation. We don't know what will really happen there. So it's just a new process, new information that they need to kind of be ahead of the budget. And at the end of next month, when we have our budget meeting, you guys will get to see the big picture of what all that looks like, and we should have final numbers for everything. I don't know if anybody has questions about this, or yeah, it's a new thing. So what happens if at the federal level, the Department of Education is disbanded? Does that send all of this into a tailspin?
Not this document, because this is our operating statement. So this isn't our full-blown budget. But there would be funds.
Okay.
Yeah, there would be funds in our, our entire budget that would definitely be impacted. For next year.
Would it be the special ed stuff? And,
In the Title I. In food service.
and food, lunches?
Yeah. Title II, we don't get a lot, but in Title II.
Okay, can we have a motion, please, on the operating budget as presented by Katie? So moved. I second. All in favor?
Hi.
Hi.
It's, I have to say that when I kept looking for like a budget,
Yeah.
columns and numbers and things that would be overwhelming. Not yet, huh? We'll get that next month.
You'll get that.
Don't worry, Stephanie. finish it. All right, audit committee,
We did not meet, and I don't know when the next meeting is,
April
something.
23rd. Katie, Next.
Yes, I believe so. It is on, yeah, April 23rd at 1 o'clock.
okay. Academic committee,
We did not meet. When is the upcoming testing supposed to take place?
We're starting it and after spring break, which is next week, so in a couple of weeks we'll start it. It won't be finished, we will get results back, so our next meeting will probably not be until the fall, and it will be a look back on our EOI data from this school year, because we don't get those last results until the summer usually, so the summative ones from the state assessment for our third through fifth graders.
Okay.
all right. Mary, the executive director, support committee,
Yeah, she had no support from me. Unfortunately,
More.
Morris,
We did vote on the.
yes,
Okay, yes.
we did.
We did.
Oh, yes, we did.
You voted for that. And all the way.
Okay, and we're gonna talk about the ED report, right? Here it is, right here.
Ms. Buckman,
Yes.
Have you been busy, Laura?
Yeah.
do you want to tell us just kind of a couple of highlights?
So I guess lottery, and we had our orientation this past week for new families, so we had a pretty good turnout for that. And just kind of like getting in the mode to start planning for next year as well. We still have our advertising campaign at I don't know the name of the radio station, it's a Spanish radio station that we're working with, and they've been really good about, you know, the frequency of it and working with our staff and interviewing our. So that's good. And that's about it. It's gonna be grant season soon, and it's gonna be budget season for us, and that's.
Kind of a lot.
It is a lot.
We have to think about, it's getting close to the time to start doing your review.
Mhm.
Do we have to do a review this year if we're moving on?
I'm not even.
How did I know that?
Next, you guys have my contract through.
We did.
Well, Mary, we got to have this conversation.
That's something I'm gonna understand or something.
Unless there's something.
So you're not.
I know, right?
Oh, no, we've got to get on this then. Oh, my God. Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Okay.
How did the site visit go?
Oh, it went really well. It was a very informal conversation with Joseph and his new staff member. They went into a couple of classrooms. So it was like I was saying earlier, it was like a light version of what they do for schools who they feel like are not themselves. So we had all the metrics in the three areas, both special ed, finance, and for leadership. So they just really came out and talked to us and asked us to tell them what are we doing well. And trying to document some of those things. So yeah, it went really well. It only got changed twice.
And that was APS, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and so, okay. So we have to get busy.
Okay,
Okay, and so, can I ask one more questions? So what are we doing about I didn't read the goals this time, but I just want to know, are we still defining our position or has that come to an end or? You know, when we was trying to split it into two.
We're still working on
Okay, yeah. So did you, we extend the contract for a year? Or 10 years?
it. I think it's 10. No, I have 2 more.
You what?
2 more.
2 more years?
Yes.
Oh, piece of cake, okay.
So-
Probably better value.
Just gonna do it.
So we better do it, yeah. Time to start. How did I miss that? It must have been the week I was gone. It was the day I was gone. It must have been. Somewhere. Okay, all right, you guys good? Yep, okay. Melinda. We got quite a list, girl. I do. Julie, can you pull up the handbook, the draft handbook, the one that I should have had last month? Oh, let's not. Yeah. Karen and I worked on this quite a bit, and we come up with this draft, and I'm not, don't worry, I'm not going through every bullet point. We've come up with the items that we think would be important, and the purpose of this is to have, when new members come in, or people that aren't quite so new, still learning things, that they have a reference guide to go to online. I'm assuming it's printed out if necessary, but hopefully online. So you can access this and get like item number 1, an introduction and history of the Coral Charter Community School. And even though they come and see Lori and Julia and they do a tour of the school, this is something to go back to understand all of these items. And please keep in mind that for every one of these items that you see in the bullet points, we're absolutely open to suggestions to like, did you think about this or think about that? Or maybe something's repetitive, repeat it somewhere further down that, and so in my mind, and I jump in, Karen, whenever you have any thing to add, that we should do 1 to 2 of these sections per month so that we can draft that and send it out to everyone for their review also. I haven't thought of a time when we'll get this finished, but we have 8 numbers on here, so we don't want it to run over 9. For instance, and some of these are pretty easy to fill out. So anyway, when you see something, please review this. Is what I'm asking. Please review it. Please send your comments into Karen and I. And let us know what you think. Suggestions would be most appreciated. But so for the rest of the items, there's board responsibilities, so you would know what to do, what's expected of you. Can you scroll down, Julie?
Sure.
Thanks. And then members of the board, so that you know who all of the members are, and you feel like you have some sort of knowledge. of who they are.
Julia, it's not sharing for Allison and I to see it.
Oh, okay. Let me,
We're still looking at the agenda. I'm sorry.
actually, no, I'm glad you said something.
Thanks, Karen.
I was like, wait, what are we talking about?
Do you see it now?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's got the members of the board, and so you have a calendar of meetings and committee meetings, so where you're supposed to be when. The new members to be introduced, they need to tell us about themselves, so that we can update them on. You can read more of these, and I have to repeat everything, I don't want to do that. Just a school calendar, so you'll know what's going on and get wise in the school, things like I know. What training is required, and let's see, so we've got committees down there again, see, for instance. So I think it's a duplicate. If we never scroll down, Julia, the on a governance council file folder. So again, we have the meeting agendas and go back to the minutes and the agendas and see what was discussed. And if you can review that ahead of time, for a few meetings, you'll have an idea of how to get into the routine. And what the finance reports are, executive director evaluations, and reports, the resources that we want to put on there, and this was what we had come up with, so again, not sure if we're missing anything. Or in terms of acronyms, that's the one part, and I still haven't updated for that second email, and I've got it. So we can add, I'll add that in. External resources, for instance, like the Vista School Report, the PED charter schools. And links and web links, so. This is your introduction to what we're gonna be working on.
There's nothing about finance. On here, I was gonna say maybe some of those.
You know, in the committees, that's where I would find it would be, so finance committee, we need to discuss what each committee does, give a brief description of what their responsibilities. And what means, and then also the finance reports is in the government's, and that's a Bible. But if it makes sense.
Well, and didn't, at least I recall meeting with Katie,
In the
that,
resource folder.
you know, that she, actually kind of talked to me about it and
Yeah.
pointed out things in reports and stuff like that. And so I think that, that's a real plus.
Yes.
Because even if you know anything about accounting, it's totally different. Unless you've done school, it's all plus and minus.
There is that great primer that they created in the resource folder.
Yeah.
That walked you through all of the finance side of stuff.
Yeah.
I also think this could be helpful for somebody who's thinking about joining the board. It could give them some ideas of what we do as well. So I think you could use it in both situations.
Yeah, it looks great. I just remember coming on the board and I'm still overwhelmed. But then, I've been here like, I don't know, in a few years. And so it's the first couple of years, because you only meet once a month.
Right.
It takes a while to, to get the flow and
Yeah.
this is great. I think this should be a huge.
Aaron, I'll get in touch with you about the next steps. There we go.
Okay.
Thanks. So if you have any other comments for this? This is not a voting.
Thing, no, not voting, that's not it.
CCCS.
Yeah, let me. Yeah.
Okay, so the next three items, we did meet with Dan on all of these. The first one is, let's just do the easy one first. It's the student, check sheet policy, and while this is really what we do, it gives us now this to reference in case, families feel a little unsafe. There is a specific place that we can point to that is a policy. Basically, it just says that, if you're law enforcement or an immigration official, that you're not, we don't give you anything other than directory information, and you're not really allowed on unless you have a warrant from a judge. So that's what this is. It's nice and simple, and it was.
Yeah, it's nice and clear. I think.
I like this.
I know, yeah, let me explain that one to you. So that one is 300 pages. So the deal with that, we did meet with the committee and go over this too. It's
Which
going
committee?
to the governance committee.
Government.
Yeah, so we met in the kind of, all these. This is replacing two things. It's replacing, one fairly large policy that's outside of this. And then our least restrictive environment policy, because what's happened over the years is, so the school started, there was template that the state wanted you to use, so we used it, but there were missing pieces. Then there was an update in 2014, and I don't really know what happened, but not everything got added in to it. So it's not like we're not doing what, all our systems are the things that really govern us in our processes, and so this is just kind of like the backbone for it. Okay, so this would replace that outdated one and the least restrictive environment, because we started to like try to add things into this. The formatting is absolutely terrible. It's not, but, APS knows how to read through this and they want to see the complete thing. And every year we keep going back and saying, well, we have this extra policy here and we added this here. And so they just want to see it like as the template reads from the website. So it's just gonna replace this and then another fix that we tried. So it's just making it so that when we get our site visits and stuff, it's there's the same language we have to see. So even though it's laboriously long.
So it's CCCS special education policy, right?
And
What-
so
what-
there are
what
eight
does
sections.
child find mean?
Job line is when you, it's preschool age children and well, it can be any age, but there are students who you want to identify as special education and that it's the identification.
Okay.
For early years. And so there are 8 sections in this policy. So I cleaned up some of it. We put our name where our name belongs, and there are a couple of the blue things will refer you to like other sections that are related to it. I think there are maybe 2 places in here where we had to say exactly what we do, like what are the escalation methods, and so we put that in, and then there was one other thing that it was a term, do we use this term? And I said, yes, we use this term. Yeah, so this is the template taken directly from.
Who's kind of where they found?
Yeah, it is, and the formatting is an absolute nightmare, and you'll see that sometimes it goes ABC and then like a thing, and then it starts renumbering, but this is what people know, this is what they want to see, so. Here it is.
APS wants to see it.
APS wants to see.
I was gonna say,
They're-
what people would want to see, I mean, because it's so
Right.
So this
Yeah.
is APS.
difficult.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like, I'm sure that the state charters also have to.
Right,
adopt
I,
this
yeah.
Too, but yeah, but they have a hard time because we kind of split it up and we're trying to make it a little easier. Have a separate, have separate policies, but it doesn't have everything in it. Yeah, all that, so, yeah.
It's all.
So do we need to approve the student protection policy and the special education policy?
Yes, and then we want.
We have one more.
So we're gonna do them all at the same time, that would be crazy. Right, the handbook.
See.
Wasn't.
There wasn't?
It,
Oh, there was. Okay, sorry. I was like, oh, should be.
yeah, it looked like it was
Oh,
primarily
yeah.
the signatory pages.
Yeah.
So-
It's spot on.
So what we're doing is, this is also kind of like related to a system issue. So we, our students register in Synergy, but we don't get the permissions properly. Or it's way harder to do it in that system than it is to take all the signature pages out of this and then do a survey at the beginning of the year. So we work with Dan on all of the wording for this. And the signature pages are going to be taken out, but the information is going to be there. So at the beginning of the year, we'll ask everyone at registration, did you read the handbook? And did you read this list of things? And that'll be surveyed as goes up to families. It just gives an extra protection.
And then there were minor updates to like times and things in the handbook that were necessary to change.
School layout.
Yes.
Just needed to be updated. Pick up COVID verbiage.
When you get there.
Mhm.
5-4,
Therefore,
there's a redundant word.
Gotcha.
I don't know why I call it.
Just caught your eye.
Because I was driving through looking for the red, right? And see what.
This thing is long. Sorry. You said 5-4?
Yeah,
Well, at least we did it now, we don't do things.
so right there. So,
Office breakfast and lunch.
no,
For students. Purchase and participate students.
So the second students,
Yeah, that's,
so it says lunch available for students. And then purchase and participate students, so it goes students.
okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So I'll take the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. What they call that.
In the, CCCS just being covered, all students receive these meals free of charge. Now, if we don't get funding, then we have to change that, right? Or do we have to find a fund?
That's a future problem.
I think we should ask us. Just saying.
Any questions? I don't know if I need to keep scrolling, but you guys, I'll read it.
Anything else?
Mostly at the bottom, it's just the signature pages that we took out with all these.
Well, stuff they.
That's the stuff they're signing.
This is what we're taking out.
Taking it out, and they're signing it in the survey. They'll sign off on it in the survey.
Okay.
Yes, that and, like the walking permission form. So.
Anything else from the government? Yeah, this month.
Did you need to vote on those three now?
Yes.
And
Can we vote on, Sam, can we vote on them all together, or do we need to go individually?
No, I think you can vote on them all together.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion, please? To approve the student protection policy, the special ed policy, and the student and parent guardian handbook.
I so moved.
Second,
Second, all in favor?
Who seconded?
Aye.
Allison seconded.
Yes,
Okay, you got that?
I think, yep.
Okay, good. Do we have any new business? Any other conversation that anybody'd like to have? All right, our next meeting will be on April 22nd at 5:30. And we are adjourned at 6:17.
Thank you all. Have a great night.
Thank you.
You too.
Good night.
Hi.
22nd.
Good night. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Because